So everyone should have their focus and their study guide out. On your study guide, please fill this in as I go. I'm going to be giving you a running scenario to use for your examples for today. Please follow along with me. On your test on Friday, it'll be easier to answer the questions if you think of my example and compare it to the examples you're going to see on your test. So, an experiment is a deliberate manipulation of a variable to see if the corresponding changes in behavior result. So, skip operational definition for now. I will come back to it. I want you to please fill out where it says independent variable. Did we do this on Friday?
Yes.
Perfect. So, independent variable. I had you write down definitions, but I did not give you an example. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so my experiment that I'm going to use as the foundation of all experiments is going to be, I want to know if Plan High School students will steal from me. I believe Plan High School students would steal candy if they're given the opportunity. That's my hypothesis. So I'm going to create an experiment. I'm going to put a bowl of candy right here and see if Plan High School students steal it. Do you think they would?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. See, this is where it came from. This is the foundation of that. So, I'm going to put a bowl of candy right here. My independent variable is what the experimenter manipulates. In the experiment I just explained, what is the independent variable? What am I, the experimenter, controlling? No one? Who's got a hand? Alyssa? Candy. Why is the candy my independent variable?
Because you put it there.
Because I put it there. Is it usually there? Does it usually live there? Absolutely not. Okay? So in your application, I would write the candy is your independent variable. Okay? So, did you write down dependent variable? Perfect. Yeah, we're going to get to the application. Candy is the application to independent variable. So, in my experiment, okay, you guys come in, grab your boards, you see candy. Some of you would go ahead and grab the candy. Okay? What is my dependent variable, Maya? The students in what? Dependent variable represents the measurable response or behavior. So, yes, your dependent variable is the students stealing candy. Okay? Can you steal candy if there's no candy to steal? No. So, you can't have the dependent variable unless you have a independent variable. On your whiteboard, I would like you to write IV here and DV here for independent and dependent variable. Please do that now. Okay, here's the scenario. You're going to identify the independent and dependent variable in the scenario I'm about to give. Is everyone clear? All right, so I want to test what flavor ice cream Plan High School students like. So I'm going to take a scoop of ice cream. I'm going to put it in a bowl on a massive table. And so I will have vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and chocolate ice cream. And kids will come up to the table and pick only one ice cream flavor, their favorite one. What is my independent? What is my dependent? Write it down now. Sort of. Watch your language. You got to watch your language on this. You got 5, 4, 3, 2. Turn to your neighbor and share. See if you got a better answer or they got a better answer than you. Turn to your neighbor and share. Talk about it. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is the independent variable, Nico? Ice cream. Why is that the independent variable?
You can't have a study without ice cream.
Can't have a study without ice cream, and ice cream is not typically just found on a table at Plan High School. Can we agree? How much better would Plan High School be if there was just a table of ice cream? That you could just like. Do you see a trend here in all my examples?
Food?
All food.
Yes! Alright, so the independent variable is the scoop of ice cream in a bowl. What is my dependent variable? Morgan?
What ice cream flavor is chosen?
What ice cream flavor is chosen? Does everyone understand that? Everyone can identify the independent, dependent. We're going to do another one. This one's going to be harder. Here we go.
Why wouldn't the students choose an ice cream?
It would be. They're choosing the ice cream from the table.
Oh,
Yeah, choosing the ice cream works. All right, here we go. So, in my experiment, I want to see how high people can jump. So, I will have a yardstick, and I'm going to measure how high people can jump. What is my independent? What is my dependent? On your whiteboard. Same procedure here, people. I want to see how high Plan High School students can jump. So, I'm going to grab a yardstick, and I'm going to measure how high they can jump. What is my independent variable? What is my dependent variable? Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn to your neighbors, share your answers. If you don't have a good one, get a good one. 5, 4, 3. So, what is my independent variable? What am I, the experimenter, controlling? Alyssa.
Aren't you controlling like the students that you bring to jump?
Please listen. She's not wrong, but she's not right. You have to watch your language when you're describing independent and dependent variable. It has to be very explicit. Try again.
Students?
Nope. What is my independent variable, Max?
The yardstick.
No. Hold on, no. The yardstick is not it. David.
The different people. Jump.
What is my independent variable, Jackson? Asking them to jump, yeah. I don't know about you, but I don't walk to class like this. And this is as high as I can jump, so don't judge. Okay? Jumping, that's not normal. Jumping is the independent variable. What is the dependent variable? Nico.
Yardstick.
No, what is the dependent variable, Alyssa? The height. By the way, I called on Alyssa, and why I was like, she said it perfectly explaining it to Nico when she was doing the board share. Yeah, the independent variable is the jumping. The dependent variable is the height. The dependent variable kind of changes with people. Does that make sense? Some people are going to steal my candy, some people won't. Who would not steal candy if it was sitting there? Oh, all of you are morally corrupt. I see you. Okay. All right. Any questions on dependent and independent variables? Okay. I will tell you, when you see your research FRQ on your AP exam, the first question they're going to ask you to do is identify the independent variable. The second part of that is going to identify the dependent variable. So very big deals. All right. Now, operational definition. Write that one down if you haven't already done it. Operational definitions are the definition of a variable of interest that allows it to be directly measured. Okay? In one box, near that, I would write the rules of the experiment. I would write that down. It's a nice way to simplify it. The rules of the experiment. With that being said, okay, so if I had a bowl full of full-size M&Ms, full-size Snickers, full-size Three Musketeers, full-size Kit Kat bars, okay, would you probably steal it? No?
It's full size.
They're full-size candy, like real ones. No, they're so good. All right. So, if I had a bowl full of Junior Mints, Swedish Fish, which are absolutely disgusting. If I had Sour Patch, which is disgusting.
Oh.
Okay, all of those, you have terrible, or like those dot things. You know those terrible things? Oh my god, they're so disgusting. They're so disgusting.
Yeah, after a while.
Huh?
Oh,
Oh my god, those are disgusting.
Those are actually
Disgusting.
Those are like circus peanuts, like the orange.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're terrible. Or those little wafer things. You know the Necco wafers?
Those are
Oh my god, your taste is atrocious.
What do you like to eat?
Oh my god.
I like candy.
Cookies, cakes, and pies. Clearly, that's all my examples. Alright, so I have a question though. So if I had a bowl full of like full-size Snickers, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, and I had a bowl full of the crappy candy in which I just described, would there be a difference in people stealing from a crappy bowl of candy and a good bowl of candy? Yes, absolutely. If I've got like great candy bars, like full chocolate candy bars, and with like crappy like Necco wafers and like dots and all that crap, less people are gonna steal the crappy candy, right? Oh my god. It's all about preference. Okay, so, oh my god, we are just thieves. Like we don't even care what it is.
Still one.
What it is. Oh my god.
Ice cream or popsicles, everyone seems to like.
Oh, are you? Even though you're not invited to take it? So many lessons are being learned right here.
Don't put it
No, all about you now.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have started this day one and like figure out who you people are. Alright, so I I think we can agree, depending on what type of candy in the bowl is going to kind of dictate how much candy is stolen. Can we agree? Honestly, yes. Operational definition is all about replication. If I find out that Plant High School students 100% would steal my candy, okay, Lastra should be able to do the same experiment in his classroom and get the same results, correct? So,
I'm scared of him.
he's terrifying, yeah. I mean, people say I'm scary, he's crazy.
He's thrown a bat at me before.
Oh my God, really?
That is insane.
That's insane. That's insane. Anyway, so if I use full-size chocolate candy bar and he uses crappy dots and Necco wafers and like everything else, he's gonna get different results, correct? In the operational definition, you explicitly state what type of candy and what size candies you need to put in the bowl. So if I'm doing full-size candies over here and get 100% theft, he should be putting full-size candy bars into his bowl, and he should get 100% theft. We talk about operational definition. It's like the rules of the thing. Elijah.
Wouldn't like the person's class be like a variable though?
Absolutely, absolutely. But we're setting up the experiment to be as accurate as possible. Now, obviously, I don't think I would have 100% theft. I'm a scaredy cat. I want to steal, but I'm like not brave enough to steal. Like, I'm just such a sissy that I would never actually do it because I'm such a sissy. But those are kind of different. But as an experiment, we can't make comparisons if the experiment's not the same. We can't compare results unless the experiments are essentially as close as possibly they can be. The operational definition allows us to do that. Does that make sense? Okay, so the operational definition are the rules of the experiment. If I wanted to compare classes and how many thieves I have in each classroom, if I leave the bowl here, I'm going to get a lot of people to steal it, correct? But if I put the bowl way over there for my 8th period class by my desk, are they going to steal it? No. That would be in my directions in my operational definition. I would say, put the candy in the very front of the room where every student has to walk by. Because if I move the candy around the room, is that going to change how much opportunity you have to steal? Absolutely. All these things go into your operational definition. It's where it's incredibly explicit, so the results can be replicated again. Is everyone clear on that? It's not hard, but people always get tripped up on that. All right. So, experimental group. That is on the front of your study guide. An experimental group are subjects in an experiment who are subjected to the independent variable. When we're talking about your groups, it's best to think of it as a drug test. So, imagine I have created a weight loss drug. If I created a weight loss drug, I'd be ready to be making billions of dollars. True, not true?
True.
Absolutely. If you could really have people lose as much weight as they want, it's a $1 billion industry. You could run it. It would be crazy. So when we talk about experimental groups are the ones who receive the drug. They're the ones who receive the independent variable. Okay? And then we have something called a control group. A control group is a group of subjects in the same experiment who do not receive the drug. Okay? So, you have an experimental and you have a control group. A control group gets a placebo. What is a placebo? T, what's a placebo?
It's the treatment that doesn't actually have the ingredient.
Okay, what is it typically?
Sugar pill.
Sugar pill, absolutely. Okay? It's false. It's a lie. Okay? Now, when we talk about it, so experimental groups get the drug, control groups get the placebo. The reason why we have both, does anyone know why we have an experimental group and a control group? Elijah.
Some people think that when they're receiving the treatment, like there's a lot of behavioral factors that can affect the response. Like I believe there's one experiment where they had a guy and they literally just injected him with water. And he like thought.
Okay, so that's like placebo effect. So we have some of those, absolutely. But why do we set it up to have an experimental and a control group? If I'm doing a weight loss drug, why would we have an experimental and a placebo, Morgan?
You need to measure like the bases and
Yes! Okay, so if I'm in my experimental group in my weight loss for the first week loses 5 pounds. And the second week, my experimental group loses 10 pounds. And in my third week, they lose 11 pounds. Okay? Looking at this, would you say my weight loss drug works? Hello, looking at this data, would you say it works?
Yes.
Absolutely. So here's my control group. Are they receiving the drug? No, they are not receiving it. They're just going hitting the gym, doing everything they're doing, except they aren't getting the drug. If they lose 5 pounds week 1, if they lose 10 pounds week 2, and they lose 9 pounds week 3, is this an effective drug? No, it is not. With the frame of context of what a normal person could do without the drug, we're able to see that the experimental or the drug doesn't work that well. The reason why we have a control group is comparison. I would write that down. They are there as a comparison to the experimental group. That is the purpose they serve. Okay? If we are just tracking the progress of our experimental group, or how well our drug's working, are we really going to know if it's doing really that well? No, absolutely not. Yes?
Would the placebo be the control variable?
To a degree. Control variables are looking at it in multiple different ways. Single blind, double blind is the easiest way to kind of go about it. We're going to get there in a second. Okay? So, when we talk about control groups, okay, so you've all heard of like cancer research. You've all watched a doctor show where they're like, well, we have this experimental drug, to help you with your cancer research. I just want you to know, half the people who are in those groups aren't getting the treatment. So no matter what, they're going to die. Okay, but why do we have to do it? We need to know if it's exactly working, so it makes sense that we have it. Is that really kind? Do you want to be the doctor that's sitting there looking at all these names, looking at they have kids, they have this going on, and saying, we'll put them in the control group, they're definitely going to die? Do you want to be that guy?
That's that thing.
No.
We
Yeah.
actually do that when we have that experimental drug and they just give them a placebo.
Well, sometimes, yes. Why? Why do we have to give them a placebo?
Have a control group.
So we can
Compared.
compare to see if it actually works. Without the comparison, we don't know if the drug's working or not. It's pretty crappy. So I think we can all agree, we don't want to be the guy who has to decide or the girl who decides who's in each group, correct? That's why we do a process called random assignment. Random assignment is we literally pick names out of a hat and we try to eliminate as much bias as possible. Is that on there? Cross off sampling, right? Random assignment, please. Morgan, you had a question, darling. Is that true?
I know I can pick
You think you got it? Okay, perfect. Because we're going to keep coming back to this because this is a very big concept.
Random sampling and random sampling.
Random assignment, either or. You cross off one of them.
Alright.
Perfect. So, when we are talking about these drugs, okay, and always think about, when they're talking about control group and experimental, always think of it in a drug format because it's just easier to process. Is that fair? Okay, so in order to figure out who's getting the placebo and who's getting the actual drug, we do random assigning. With that, we put their names in a hat and we say, okay, T is in my experimental. Oh, here we go. Alyssa is in my control group. Oh, here we go. Abigail is in my experimental. So then it's not on us. Okay, and we try to eliminate as much bias as possible. Because if I think Nico's a really great guy and I don't want Nico to die of the cancer he has, I'm going to say, put him over there. Is that fair? No. So that's why we do random assignment. All right. So it's another control we try having. So Elijah was describing very eloquently, by the way, placebo effects. Okay, placebo effects are when, just listen, I don't think it's on your focus or your study guide, but I think you may have a question on it. The placebo effect is when people who are getting the sugar pill, so for instance, going back to my diet pill, people, when you sign up for the drug, when you sign up for the experiment, you have someone who explains what's happening and what you need to be doing. So say I'm the experimenter, I'm going to say, all right, to both my experimental and my control group, you need to go to the gym 5 days a week. You need to drink a gallon of water every single day, and you need to eat as little carbs as possible. So both my experimental and my control group get that pep talk. Is that everyone clear on that? So with that, my control group, do they know they're getting the placebo? Why don't they know? Why don't we want our control group to know that they're in their control group? Why, Ramsey?
Because then people in the control group, they would think, shoot, I was.
Why, T?
They might not find the point to like going to the gym or something.
Absolutely. If you know you signed up for this amazing weight loss pill that if you take it you're going to lose pounds like crazy, and you got stuck in the control group and you're taking a placebo, are you going to do everything you need to do? Go to the gym 5 days a week, drink your gallon of water, eat those little carbs? No, But if you know you're in this experimental group and you're getting the drug, you're going to do everything you can to get it, get in shape and do it, absolutely. So we have to have a little bit of deceit, correct? We need them to be doing the same thing so we don't tell them. Because if I signed up for a drug test for weight loss and I was just getting a placebo, do you think I'm going to get up and go to the gym 5 days a week every morning? No, I'm going to sit on my couch and eat my cookies like I want to because I'm not getting the drug that I thought I wanted to get, you know? Like, screw it. We need them to do the same, so we do this. Placebo effect is when people who are in a control group think that they have the drug, they actually feel better, feel like they're losing weight faster, and then feel different because of it. Have any of you like had a really bad headache and you take Advil or whatever ibuprofen and you immediately feel better? Even though there's no possible way it's made a difference. Is anyone like that? I do. It happens to me all the time. I woke up with my headache, I took Advil and I was like, oh my God, I feel better already. In my head, I know it hasn't affected a damn thing, but the fact that I'm taking it makes me feel better. That is essentially kind of like a placebo effect, okay? So people who are not on the drug feel the results of the drug and swear they're getting the drug even though they're not. All right, so in order to help eradicate bias, we do experiments called single blind. You have double blind twice on your... Okay, cross off one of the double blind and make it single blind. Okay, so single blind research or single blind studies, it doesn't matter, is when the actual participants don't know what group they're in. They don't know if they are experimental or if they are control group. Every experiment is set up this way. Every experiment is set up this way. Okay, so a single blind study is when no one knows, a participant doesn't know if they're in the control group or the experimental. Every single experiment has to be set up this way. Some experiments are set up like double blind, which we'll get to in a second. So experimenter bias is when, so say for instance I really did create the next billion-dollar weight loss drug, okay? Do you think I would be really excited about these results coming in? Because every time people are losing weight on my drug, is that making me more money? Yes. So if I know that Nico is in my experimental group and Ramsey's in my control group, every time Nico comes in the experimental group and is losing a ton of weight, is that going to make me happy? And if I know every pound he loses is making me money, I'm going to be like, oh my God, Nico, it is so great. High five, man. You are losing so much weight. I am so proud. Oh my God, so excited. Money, money, money. Yay! Goodbye, Nico. Keep at it, Nico. And then Ramsey comes in, who's my control group. You're not making me any money. By him not losing weight, is that making me money? Yes, it is. Because if he's not losing weight, Nico, my man, is going to look like he's losing more. Hello, Bennett. Sounds good. All right. Jackson, go dance in the woods, man. Okay, so am I going to treat Ramsey with as much kindness as I would Suniko? No. I think everyone in this room can now just see why. Okay, with that being said, when Ramsey comes in and he's like, oh man, you know, going to the gym 5 days a week, drinking this much water, such pain, I'm like, you know what? Why don't you take a couple days off? Just sit on that couch, man. Like, hang out, eat some cookies, you know, a whole cake is a good thing to enjoy every once in a while. Do you? As an experimenter, is that fair? No. However, if he adds weight and he's losing weight, am I making money? Absolutely. So enjoy your cake. Okay? That's experimenter bias. Now, in order to avoid experimenter bias, we do a thing called a double-blind study. A double-blind study is when I, the person who comes in contact with the people taking the drug and my placebo, when they come in contact with me, I don't know if Nico is getting the drug or if Ramsey's getting the drug. I have no idea. Am I going to treat them the same?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to be so excited for Nico, and I'm going to be so excited for Ramsey because I'm not sure who's getting the drug. We treat people differently whether we mean to or not. Would you agree? If I knew Nico could be making me billions And Ramsey, by adding weight, is making me billions. I'm going to treat them differently. Morgan.
So who is actually administering the drug in those symptoms?
Okay, so there's always going to be an experimenter who is running the experimenter, but never interacts with the people.
Is that in a single blind as well?
No, in a single blind, if I'm doing the experiment on ice cream, I could have come up with the experiment, I could have created the experiment, I could run the experiment, and I could write down my lists. When you're dealing with drugs, it's always double blind. There's a man or a woman far away looking down, supervising things, but does not talk to any of like the lowly people like me who are actually administering the drugs every week. Okay, never interacts with any of our actual experimentees, nothing. They just sit in their little room and they just keep an eye on things and they keep track. So if this is a true double blind, Nico would have a code name. So I would hide that information from the people who are administering drugs. So Nico would come in and he'd say, I would say, well, what's your number? And he would say B16. And I would know with B gets the B drug. And if he comes in, he'd say, I'm A12, and I would give him the A drug. But I don't know what B means, and I don't know what A means, which one's experimental. It's beyond me. This eliminates bias, and that's what I would put in your application. Eliminates the most bias, yes.
Wouldn't the person that like at the top be called like a blind person?
No, because they see all the pieces. They know everything.
Oh, I thought it was
They're the ones like the head experimenter. Yeah. All right. Questions on double blind, single blind. Which one is the most accurate? Double blind. Which one's easier to do?
Single.
There you go. Which one's the most popular? Single. There you go. But all of your drug, like the FDA, always is double blind because there's billions and billions of dollars at stake. Okay? On your whiteboard, here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is being manipulated by the experimenter? What is being manipulated by the experimenter? Good, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, what is it, T? Independent variable. On your whiteboard, what is it? What am I called if I'm in the group that gets the drug? What group am I in if I'm getting the drug? Good, what is it? What is it, Kristen? Experimental. Hopefully, you figured out today was worth your day. All right, guys, have a great day. Enjoy dancing in the fields. Huh? You're leaving too? Nice. Are you going to wear a daisy wreath? Please do. Like, I just feel like you can't watch an eclipse without doing that, right? Get your little flowers, put in your hair. Yeah. It's me taking quick notes. I'm teaching them how to write it.
Is that English or?
Yahweh?
No, it's Adonai.
Oh, no, we're doing the traditional one. Yahweh is the traditional. Historical, yeah. I'm not doing like the Jewish religion yet. I don't do that until period 2.
I was looking at it, I'm like, that's not how I learned it.
Yeah, no. Historical religion is different than religion.
I was looking at this, I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you see how short it is? Like, we are limited here.
Still, I was looking at this, like, that's fine. I don't.
Bye, City. Have a good day. Yeah, no. Yahweh is the historical one.
So the original back.
Yeah, they're.